just you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 50, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, 2020, and everything in between. I am your host, Mattbrush, and with me today...
Hi, Mattbrush.
What was that?
It's me, hi.
Oh, my gosh.
Hi.
It's just happening so suddenly. It's just like 2020. It's just coming at me so quickly. I don't even know how to react.
It's me, hi.
Oh, okay, who are you?
Can't you see me? It's clear. It's 2020. I'm so clear. It's me, Anth0z. Can't you tell?
You do sound clear with your new microphone. You sound very clear.
Yeah, my new microphone suspension stand. Also, I bit my tongue, so it's feeling a little fat. And if I slur more than usual, it's because of that.
Well, hello, Anth0z, and welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast. Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, but I'm salivating so much because of that.
Well, you know what helps for that? You know what really helps?
Water?
A pirate joke! Let me tell you a pirate joke.
Ooh, okay.
All right. How do you steal a Tesla?
Ooh. Oh, man. I'm going to get this. There's a pirate joke about Teslas?
How do you steal a Tesla?
I don't know how. Wait, I gave up. How?
Oh. You put it on autopilot.
Wow. I like it. Nice. Wow. That was great.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not bad.
Yeah.
That's why I picked it. And also
Autopilot.
topical
Okay.
because of Tesla. So,
Yeah. Yeah, Tesla's topical.
Yeah.
The topical Tesla.
Anth0z, welcome to 2020. How has it been treating
Thanks.
you so far?
It's fine. No,
Pretty much the
no
same?
complaints. Yeah, things haven't changed much. I
Wow.
think. Yep. How about you?
Actually, I gotta say, yeah, pretty much the exact same. Everything
Yeah.
that's been cool about 2020 so far already hit me before 2020. So
Okay.
it's just in between our last little break that we've taken. This is we had taken a bit of a break off, and then we had our Star Wars episode come out. Now we're coming in for a real podcast.
This is the real stuff
This
now.
is the real deal.
Last
we're getting
episode
to the
did
nitty
not
gritty
count.
now. The podcast.
The nitty scum.
The gritty,
The scummiest
the grimy
of all.
scum. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to get your brushes out and scrub this around.
And soap.
So,
And your mild detergents.
I've got a lot to talk about, but yeah, none of it really has to do with 2020, which is kind of funny. It was all right at the end of 2019. But before we get into any of that, why don't you tell me a little bit about ye old news and what's going on?
All right. Well, just to kick off by continuing with our Star Wars stuff.
Why not?
I
can't
have
even get
a
an episode
whole-
without talking about Star Wars.
I actually have a whole bunch of Star Wars news.
Ooh.
So let's see where should I start? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna start off with I know you haven't seen the rest of the Mandalorian yet,
Not yet.
but the season finale had a pretty cool reveal, which I will not say,
Okay.
but it's something that's been shown in Star Wars Rebels, and
And
I want to talk about it without saying too much, and it is a
I haven't seen Rebels either, so if it's something like it might be, if it's not canon to Clone Wars or it's not referenced in Clone Wars, I won't know what you're talking about.
It's not referencing Clone Wars. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. That's okay. But you'll get it eventually once you see it. But it is it's specific to Mandalorians. So that's all I'm gonna say for now.
Interesting.
So that's that. Check. I'm going to
Interesting.
cross that off.
That's really cool. And also, just to titillate the audience a little bit, we will be doing a Mandalorian review, probably next episode. I would say the next episode we do here, we'll be doing a Mandalorian review. So
Oh, yeah.
I will get on that. My fiance and I got to finish it, so we'll finish it and then we'll do it then. We'll
Cool.
do it live.
All right.
won't actually
In
be
the
live.
end. That's what the editing's for. So I've got more Star Wars news, and that is the Clone Wars season 7
Woo!
is is headed for February 17th.
Oh my
2020.
god, that's so soon.
So that's a month and a couple weeks from now.
I gotta brush up on the last season. I gotta watch it again so I get ready for that.
Do it.
Clone Wars is so good. If you haven't seen Clone Wars, watch it. It's very good.
Clone
Even
Wars
if
is
you
good. It's
only
a really
watch
good show.
like season 5 on and watch the Darth Maul arc stuff, just stay with that. It's so good. It's totally worth it.
So I'm really happy about that. I think Ahsoka fans all around the world are rejoicing, knowing that they're gonna. Well, I assume that they're gonna be getting a Stokta.
Ahsoka fan.
Yeah, I mean, I assume she's gonna be in it, but it would make sense if she weren't. So, anyways, there's that. In other sequel news, there's a leak. There's a bit of a leak.
Not a radish.
So call your plumbers. We're not really sure if it's legitimate or not, but there may be a Star Wars Rebel sequel as well coming because
weird.
The last season, season 4, I think that was a couple years back or last year or something. Star Wars Rebels. Anyway, so I think there wasn't talk about it before because once Disney Plus had kicked off, I believe what's his name, Filoni.
Oh yeah.
Filoni.
Steve Filoni, or Paul?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
The guy with the cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Didn't he also write Mandalorian?
He did he?
I'm pretty sure he wrote Mandalorian. Yeah. He's
cool.
the Star Wars guru. That guy actually knows how to write
really
Star
is.
Wars.
Yeah, listening to him or like watching him in interviews, like he's got a really really good head for like I guess what makes sense for the Star Wars stories, like the lore, and just seems like a fun guy. So, but yeah, I think because he was supposed to be focused on putting together Clone Wars and directing that it seemed unlikely Star Wars Rebels would be getting a sequel because then he wouldn't have had time for it. But maybe we'll be getting it as early as 2020, quote unquote. So I mean that's this year. we'll have to see what happens.
Just to correct myself from earlier though, Dave Filoni directed 2 episodes of Mandalorian and wrote one episode, one of the ones he directed. So he actually directed the first episode of Mandalorian and the 5th episode of Mandalorian.
Okay.
And then the rest was done by Jon Favreau for writing.
Nice, cool. Oh yeah, Jon Favreau. Jean Favreau.
That's the French Jean Favreau.
So Dave Filoni apparently also directed 9
up.
episodes
Dave
of
Filoni.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
This guy knows his
I'm not sure which
stuff.
episodes, but
He knows how to write like good story.
good stuff. Yeah,
Good stuff.
So he should
Great
keep
stuff.
going. Yeah, just keep going, Dave.
With a real thumbs up.
Yeah. And my last Star Wars news is that one of the upcoming movies may be based on the Knights of the Old Republic, coming in December 2022.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I unfortunately have never really got into the Knights of the Old Republic games, but I know that they're really good. I know everyone likes them a lot, and I watched like a buddy of mine play a bit of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. And I thought it looked cool, but I never actually played it, mostly because I didn't have an Xbox or a PC that would play it. I had a PlayStation, so. But that is exciting, though. I do know the story's good, so that will be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
it seems like a cool idea that I guess it'll be a little bit more of a refreshing take on the Star Wars universe, compared to what we've seen so far.
It might even somehow make the prequel seem better if they can go back to that kind of era and make it seem more fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Add to it.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, so that's it for my Star Wars news.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you have any news? I've got some more, but if you want.
No. Zero news.
Cool. Great. All right, I'll keep going.
Go.
Then.
Go.
So I didn't watch the Golden Globe, but I noted down a couple winners. One I didn't foresee. Okay, so I actually don't know. I can't really compare Golden Globes to any of the other award shows. I don't really know what the difference is, but I guess so. I think what you were saying, the Academy Awards is that the bigger one?
Yeah, the Academy Awards is the one that is the bigger one. Yeah, I mean, it just has more people, has more attention, has more hype. But I can't tell you the difference between the two either. I have no idea. One's probably done by the Academy only for all the Academy actors. One's probably just them voting, and the Golden Globes is probably something else voting. I don't know what though.
Well, it's Golden Globe. It should be bigger. It's the whole globe. But anyway,
hey,
whatever.
the Earth is flat, man, so it's not a globe. So
The Earth is square.
the golden.
It's
the golden flat.
the
The golden plane. That's what it should be.
the golden toast. So let's see. I just noted a couple down. So Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin
won
on
Best Actor
Phoenix.
for
Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm walking on Phoenix. Oh. So he won Best Actor for Joker.
Wow, what a yoke.
So that's cool. Good for him.
That was the good part of Joker, was him, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He was great.
Great.
I mean,
I can't do it. You can.
I mean, it'll be great.
There you go.
And then oh, did you ever watch The Crown?
The what?
The Crown?
No, I actually don't. I've seen the first episode of the first season, but I recently heard that they actually changed the actors for the third season, so it actually switches and they all age, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I was thinking about going back and rewatching it.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we watched the first 2 seasons, and then we just started watching the third season. I think we're both on the same page in that it was really hard to connect with the new cast because we're so used to seeing these characters portrayed by the original cast, and the dynamic is different. Their portrayals, I mean, they're still portraying the same people, but ultimately the delivery is different. So it was a little bit hard to get on board with. Like I couldn't look at the characters and think like, oh, this is Prince Philip and this is Queen Elizabeth. It was like watching. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it took some time. So now I'm kind of on board. I like the dynamic that I see, like the chemistry between the characters in this cast. I guess I've gotten used to it, or maybe it's just like their acting is really well done anyway. So watch it. Even with the cast change, I think it's still good. But the takeover Queen Elizabeth actor, Olivia Colman. So she won Best TV Actress for her portrayal in Crown. So good for her. So that's the Golden Globe stuff. That's all the Golden Globe winners. It was just those 2.
I think Ricky Gervais won the night though. Did you see his speech?
Oh, so no. What? Tell me about it.
I don't know it verbatim, but he was talking like he just made fun of everyone. It was apparently really controversial, and I watched it and I was laughing so hard. It was awesome. But he pretty much started the whole thing off with like a Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself joke. So he did the Epstein didn't kill himself like right off the bat, and everyone was like didn't know if they should laugh or not. It was so good.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
And then he also was just like, he said, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but it was very funny where he's like, don't come out here, get your trophy, and start telling the world how they need to live their lives, like how politics needs to change and all this stuff. He's like, most of you have had less education than Greta Thunberg.
Wow.
And like everyone again is kind of like laughing, but also kind of like stone faced because they don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
It's because it is true for a lot of them. So anyways, Ricky Gervais, it was just very funny. Good on him. I don't care really, regardless if your politics are left or right. Just if you can speak honestly and say what you feel, that's the best thing ever. And that's why it's funny today how a lot of people are calling him a Republican and they're getting all mad at him and stuff, when it's like he didn't say anything right wing or left wing. He just made fun of celebrities, and I think that that's fun to do every now and then. We put these people on pedestals, so we got to make sure we also knock them down a peg every now and then too, because they're not better than anyone. They're not better or worse than anyone. People are people, right? So I love that Ricky Gervais got to do that, and I think we need to live in a world with jesters, because the jesters poke fun at the king, but it lightens the mood for everyone, so we all feel leveled and balanced. So I don't know, it's nice.
And also, what else do you expect for somebody hosting these shows? I mean, like
it's literally
they're
his
pretty
job.
much there. Yeah, like they're meant to roast everybody.
Exactly.
Like that's
so, and that's I guess that's
it
another thing too. We're in such a sensitive culture lately that it's kind of fun to start off 2020 thinking, hey, maybe we can go back to being normal again. Like we can get back to the sense of normalcy where everybody doesn't get along all the time, and that's fine. Yeah. So I like that. If you haven't seen it, there's like a 3-minute clip online you can watch on YouTube. I suggest everyone take a look. Just take it for what it is. If you don't find it funny, totally fine, but I find it hilarious.
I'm waiting to watch most jaw-dropping moments from 2020 Golden Globes. And then the next video, Ricky Gervais skewers Hollywood's A-list as Golden Globes host. I'm looking forward to watching both one after another.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Let's see. And okay, a couple more things. Oh, I watched Knives Out. Have you seen that?
No, that's also Rian Johnson though, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that was like his next movie after Last Jedi.
Really?
Yeah.
Knives Out.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, it is Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. I don't normally watch. Or I can't think of any murder mystery movies that I've seen recently, but yeah, that was fun to follow, fun to watch.
I didn't know it was a murder mystery, to
yeah.
be honest. That just piqued my interest. So,
Yeah, go watch it. It's fun.
where'd you see it? Is it on like Netflix or Disney Plus or anything?
Oh no, I went to Cineplex.
Oh, sorry, it's in the theater. Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's in theaters.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah. I think it came out maybe a month or so ago. A month. So
I don't see many
good.
movies here on the island. I'm noticing that. I've stopped seeing movies in theater as much. It's so funny. But like Star Wars, when we're sitting in the
it's
theater,
because you spend all your time talking to me.
probably. But when I'm sitting in the theater with my fiance, I was just like, we haven't been in the theater since I think it was like probably Spider-Man. Like I was like, it's been a long time.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, because like what else came out?
Wait, or did you mean Far From Home?
Sorry, I meant Far From Home, not Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because we saw Endgame, and then Far From Home was after. I can't honestly think of another movie we saw between Far From Home and Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. There was others we wanted to watch, but I can't think of another one.
Wow.
So yeah, I was just like, I guess it's just one of those things I noticed. It's like, I guess we don't go to the theater as much anymore, like we used to.
You two need to get out more. You need to get out and get into a theater more.
Hey, you, get into that theater.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, I was kind of mixing two songs. Because I forgot which song I was singing.
Halfway through
Anyways,
singing it.
Cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no.
Wheel of Scum?
Knives Out. No, Knives Out was what you were gonna say.
Oh, okay.
You said that was a good movie. Great, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
Then I segued off. Did you have any more news?
Yeah, two quick things. One, I'm gonna send you this link, and I hope you put it. Where should I send it?
I am the Senate.
Face.com. Face.com. Yeah, you should put it in something where our audience can see it, so that they can all order it. Wait, did you get it already?
Yeah.
You laughed before I said it to you.
For the audience at home, it's a Kirby nap pillow. So it's Kirby in his like sucking up an enemy face as like a giant plushie, and when you put your head into his mouth, there's a little pillow there to sleep. So then it just looks hilarious because it looks like Kirby's like sucking you up to gain all your power. It's pretty adorable. I like it a lot. Honestly, I kind of want to get one.
And that's how you nap.
That's pretty
It's
cute.
a nap pillow, and they're
like
selling it on the Bandai website.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that, and one more link.
adorable.
It's this one. So I mentioned this a couple episodes back, and how when I was on the island, I encountered somebody who had some sort of Toyota electric car from like the 90s or something, and it showed up in this. This just popped up on my feed somehow. So apparently, yeah, if you scroll down so it's for the audience, it's basically a list of so it's 20. It's titled 20 Early Electric Cars Everyone Forgets About.
Right.
So I think the first couple make sense for people to forget about because they're from, let's see, the first is from 1800s.
Well, they've got the lunar rover lander on there, so.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird
It's been
mix.
a little cheeky. We didn't even go to the moon, so I mean that's not even a vehicle.
Yeah. But if you scroll down to so 12, there's a Chrysler that's from the 90s. Oh, sorry, no, the 70s, 80s. Electric.
Chrysler
And then
Tavan.
The Ford Ranger EV just looks like a Ford truck,
Yeah.
and it's EV.
Looks pretty legit. Came out in 1990s.
Yeah, you go scroll down. The GM EV1 kind of looks a little
that
bit.
looks like a UFO. That's so weird.
It reminds me of what does it remind me of? If somebody, like sandwich boards. If somebody, no. You know when some people that wear clown outfits, but their pants are connected by suspenders, but their pants waist is like a hula hoop,
And it's wider. It's wider than the
Yeah, that's what this car reminds me
That's
of.
totally
So
it, yeah.
audience, if you
You're
picture
right.
that, just picture that. Next one. So 9 Chevy EV, and then 8 Honda EV, 7 Nissan, yeah, and then you go to 6. This is the one that I saw on the island.
RAV4 EV.
Yeah.
Wow. Toyota.
So
Back in 1997 to 2003, they had a line of electric vehicles, the RAV4 EVs. Wow. Close to 500 are still in active use today, and you met one of the 500 Out of all
Yeah.
places in the world, you met one of the 500.
I should have bought a lotto ticket that day.
Fortune 500. Yeah, exactly.
Man. Anyway, so I just wanted
Formula
to bring that up.
500. You could have gone racing. No, that's really cool. I didn't know about that.
And then this one, I don't know why people forget about this one, but number 1 is the Tesla Roadster. I guess because more people think about the Tesla cars that are available for like the average person to
I've
drive.
had this in conversation with people too. When I talk about Tesla, and I always talk about them, and eventually I get back to like Roadster, and they're like, I've had people say that they're like, "Oh, a sports car?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was the first thing they tackled."
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
you know, they're always like, "Oh, I thought it was just a car company." I was like, "Well, no, it is." It's like, but like his first car he made was a sports car. It was supposed to be like competitive to actual sports cars out there. It's like, and it actually kept up with them mile per mile. And anyways, then everyone's like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." I was like, "Well, that's okay." I mean, I get it. Like, not everyone's knowledgeable and everything. I understand, and we all pick and choose our battles. But just I always thought that was common. But then again, you know what? To make fun of myself for a second here, I remember back in 2015, you and myself and a few other people were all in a room, and somebody said something about Elon Musk. And then I think you went like, "Oh, yeah." And then I was like, "Who's Elon Musk?" And then everyone in the room turned to me and was like, "You don't know Elon Musk?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So I had to spend like that day going home and watching all these videos of like his like solar panels on roof tiles and stuff and all these different things he was working on. And I had never heard of Tesla. So I guess I totally understand from that point of view too.
I can vaguely remember saying somebody saying I'm pretty sure it was Justine actually, and she was like, he's changing the world, and she was like so passionate about it. I'm like, wow, okay, like he hasn't really done anything yet. He made the car. I think he's working on batteries, but like he's on his way.
Digging a gigantic hole in LA.
So anyway,
cool. Well, that's good news. Good news. That's very well done.
Yeah.
You've enlightened me with ye old news. Let's move on to our topic for the day, which I'd like to start talking about 2019. This was a year of revelation. This was a year of creation, Genesis even. It was a very good year. It was a very good year.
It was a very good year.
It was a very good year.
That's just how the song goes, right? It just says the same thing over again, but in different melodies.
It was a good year.
That's the way I remember it anyway.
So I figured we should talk mostly about 2019, some of the cool things going around with us. Why don't we talk in this segment about like earlier on in 2019, and then we'll spend the end of the segment talking about like the end of 2019, because I want to get into like Christmas and all this stuff too. But we'll do that maybe at the end. Okay. So starting off at the beginning of 2019, I just like to pat us on the back for our podcast. We were podcasting actually at the beginning of this time last year. We were actually still podcasting. So we've been doing this for more than a year. We were doing it for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
So it's just weird to think about the fact that a year ago we were podcasting. So here we are still podcasting, which is great. So that's awesome, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm very happy we're doing that.
That makes me feel old.
I know.
Nothing else does. Only this.
We were getting aged. You were engaged at that point, correct?
I was engaged. I was engaged then. Yep, should have been. Definitely.
Should have been.
Yep.
Hope you were.
Yep.
Okay. So when did you get engaged then? Was that 2018?
Yeah, that was 2018. Summer 2018. Yeah.
Well,
so I was still engaged in January 2019.
Well, then in 2019, for me, I had a big change after February, which also affected our podcast because we did take a 3-month break. But I had moved out of Vancouver, Burnaby, and I'd been there for 5 years, and then moved over to Vancouver Island, where I am now. And we had to readjust and all that stuff, and I had to readjust my life. You had to readjust nothing really. And then
I had to readjust was it Wednesdays that we were recording?
I think we did record on Wednesdays, and we switched that to Tuesdays.
Yeah, I had to readjust my Wednesdays. It just didn't make sense. It actually did feel kind of empty when like it was like a Wednesday night, and I think my then fiance would be, well, I mean, she wasn't living with me, so she already had like Wednesday plans, I think. And then I was just sitting at my table alone, staring at the wall when I should have been staring at you, but you weren't there.
Well, so. And we had only been doing it, well, that's very nice of you to say, we had only been doing it for maybe 6 months at that time, and then we took that break.
Was it? Yeah. Maybe just under.
It's like September to January, or September to February, I guess.
I was gonna say just under, but yeah, maybe a bit, about 6 months.
So, and now we've done it even longer. So I bet you if we stopped, it would be weirder.
It would be.
Yeah.
It's almost like, if you think about it, it's almost kind of weird that we actually have this recurring schedule that takes place.
I know. Like I can't
to do
schedule
this.
so many things in my life, and yet this still works. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
sure. I guess it's what you care about, and I apparently care about ranting about Star Wars for 2 hours. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same, but I know my limits. I play within it.
Know your limits, play within it.
Right.
No,
right.
so then I moved back to the island. The big thing that happened to me is I got engaged. I got inspiration,
Yeah.
and I got engaged. So that was big, and that was awesome. But that also was more of a personal thing for me. I moved in with my fiance, and now I live in a beautiful home with my fiance.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to be. I'm in the town that I grew up in, so I'm excited.
And you made a lot of changes to your house, right? Like, I feel like in the first half of the year, like you probably did a lot of renovations, like cleaning up, like doing the landscaping.
Lots of landscaping.
Or maybe landscaping was more so in the summer.
Yeah, early summer to midsummer,
Yeah.
we were doing a lot of the landscaping, redoing the whole yard, and changing it all out and shaping it all up and stuff. And then building a chain link fence was the bigger portion of that too, trying to enclose everything and put in gates and everything like that. Buying a vehicle, also getting my new job and everything like that, and changing focus with jobs and careers and everything. So. Yeah. Lots of stuff behind the scenes, I guess, that was happening, which is really interesting. But we still kept up with it, so good for us. We've kept the podcast going. 2019 was definitely quite the year. There's a lot that went on there early on to midsummer range. There was a lot that happened, and I found it just, I don't know. It was just going by really quickly. But now looking back on it, I'm just so happy the year turned out the way it did. It was just a really good year, and I was just really, really appreciative of that. Something special happened to you though.
Actually,
you can go earlier. You can go earlier if you want to. I was
gonna mention like closer to the beginning of 2019.
Yeah.
One of my closest friends had a kid.
Oh, there you go.
So that's one of the first things that happened.
We're getting to that age where that's happening. Everyone's getting married, and then everyone's having kids.
Yeah, and so January 31st, he's turning 1.
Holy smokes! That must feel so quick for you though. Like.
Yeah, especially because they took him to Korea for a few months, and they just got back mid-December, and in the span of that time, like their kid got so big, like incredibly big, and by the time he got back, he was just like a completely different baby,
size of a house.
So
it's like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah, he's already married, he's got his masters. Like I just, it's scary, but. Anyway, yeah. So that was that. That's one of like the biggest things that happened to us in our circle of friends. But next biggest thing, the biggest thing for me and my wife is that she became my wife, and then, so which happened in September. And people keep asking us how married life is or like what's different, but our answers are pretty much just nothing has changed. Other than the fact that we're living together, and because we're living together, like we have adjustments. I probably mentioned this on the podcast already, but my adjustment is I have to get used to living with a person.
Of course.
Because I was living on my own for a year and a half, and I got used to my own rhythms, my own schedules, my own timing and way of doing things. And now I'm getting used to. Well, I'm more or less used to things now, but there was an adjustment to figuring out, like, sharing the space with this other person. Like, what is she gonna do during this time? What am I gonna do during that time? When do we interact? When is it fine for us to do our own thing? How about scheduling, driving each other, picking each other up, like that kind of stuff. That's more of like my adjustment. For her adjustment is moving out in general, because this whole time she'd be living with her family, so she still had her parents to. I think she did her laundry sometimes, but general like household cleaning, maybe majority of the cooking, like all that kind of stuff was always done by her parents. And so now she's in the flow of how often she wants to clean when she's here,
right?
Which is good. I mean, she's really on top of it. Like I'll pitch in when I can, but she's really good at like doing the laundry when it needs to be done, cleaning stuff, like just whatever it is, and prepare. I think the biggest adjustment now might be getting used to doing groceries. And like figuring out like what to cook and when, and proportioning all that kind of stuff. So but yeah, it's been a good journey so far. Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty much the best thing that could happen to you. I'm sure it's a good year, and it's a year that you'll keep remembering because of that too. So your anniversary is going to be built on that year now. So that's cool.
Speaking of which, so originally, so when we got engaged, we were talking about what year to get married, and we were thinking like best timing and also what made sense in terms of talking about our anniversaries, because we first got together in 2010, and so nice round number. And then originally we were heading towards doing a 2020 wedding, so that means our anniversary would have been starting from a 0 again. So that means 2021 is 1 year of being married, and then 2022, and then 2 years of being married, and so forth. And she was saying the other day, oh man, that now that we got married in 2019, it's gonna be so weird to think of, like, I like later on I won't be able to remember like how long we've been married for. Like, it'll be so awkward to think about it. I'm like, it shouldn't be, but all right. if you think so, maybe it will be. But
well,
yeah,
I think it'll be pretty easy. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will figure that out, and it'll be easy enough.
Yeah. That's what Google Calendar is for, right?
Yes.
Remembering all the important stuff.
Remembering back in 2019 as well, around the time when you were getting married, I killed my first rat I've ever killed.
I don't think did I know about this?
I don't know if I told this story on the podcast, so I definitely want to tell it now while I have the time, because I don't know if it'll ever come up again.
Yeah.
I've never had to do this. I grew up in the household that when you killed rats, you use rat traps, and you just snap them and they die. And then you just take it out and then throw it out in the trash. But anyways, with my fiance, that is a no-no. She is very much about saving them or keeping them alive,
pro-life,
or giving them a painless death. So there was a moment where we were doing landscaping, as you were talking about, and we were building our compost, which was awesome. We built a compost this year, and it was such a nice compost. I can't say enough about this thing. I love it. But before I tangent off on the compost, the rat, when she went out to go to the shed, there was a rat that looked dead, and something had attacked it. So it was just like lying there. It was pretty much dead, but it was breathing. So it's just doing this like super slow breathing kind of thing in the sun, and it was just like baking in the sun and slowly dying. And it was gross. So she didn't want to do anything with it. She's like, I can't touch that. I can't do anything, but you have to get rid of it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went out and grabbed a shovel.
Nice.
And I was about to smack it with the shovel, and she wouldn't let me do that. So I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And her logic, this is from her family and what they do, I guess, but this blew me away because I've never heard this before, and I couldn't believe she was serious, no joke. She said that I should put it into a paper bag and go take it to my car, start my car, and use the exhaust from the car to put into the paper bag so it slowly breathes in the exhaust, and then it dies. And I was like,
what?
Oh my gosh. So I did it. I put it in a paper bag, started the car, and had to just hold the bag with the exhaust pipe and wait long enough for the rat to slowly pass away. I'm gonna say that was the most emotional thing I've ever had with a rat.
Whoa. What the?
So that was something from 2019. I totally forgot to explain that story here on the podcast. I don't know why I never got to tell that story, but that was something that happened for me in 2019.
Isn't that kind of like a different kind of pain?
I don't know. Apparently it's super painless, and it's very like I searched it up afterwards. Apparently it's like you don't know it because you're just breathing in, and slowly you're just breathing in less and less and less, and then you kind of get all fumed up and just pass. So yeah,
okay.
You know when people kill themselves and they like do a funnel or whatever and they put it into their car of the gas and exhaust?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's apparently a painless death, so
okay,
that's how some people kill themselves. But anyway, so I did that for the rat. So yeah,
holy.
So that was weird, very weird.
Cool.
But did it in 2019. Right. So a little bit about 2019 for you from me.
Awesome.
And the compost and all that. Yeah, it's weird. Also, your wedding. I went to your wedding, which was great.
Yep.
So thank you.
Yep. That was fun.
That was a highlight for my 2019. That was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
That was got some good photos.
One of my highlights, including you at the wedding, is showing up at our tea ceremony and being in the photos and the videos. And it was funny. We actually did a viewing with our families just a couple weeks back. So our families got to see you and your fiance in those. It was really funny.
We showed up an hour early because I read the card wrong, or I read the invitation wrong. I thought it started at 5 and it started at 6. And so we all showed up, or my fiance and I showed up at 5, and then everyone was there, and there was a photographer asking for everyone to be in the big photo. And we even asked someone like, do they meet everyone or just family? And someone was like, oh, it's just everyone, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay. So here we are now, just photobombing your big family wedding photos. So.
I want to know who said that and like what they were thinking. I don't remember now. Like it's really funny. Like it's not bad at all. It's really just great.
I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
But it's a funny story though, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what makes moments like that better. Like, I mean, like the wedding day itself is already such a great moment, but having more fun stories to tell about it makes it that much more memorable, right? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
At my wedding, there'll be plenty of opportunity for you to do something back.
All right, I'm gonna be in every single photo.
Oh man,
like. Just take a look at the album you get from the photographer. All like 1,500 photos you get. I'm in every single one. I will be in every single one.
Oh god. Now I'm gonna be watching. So actually, I've changed my mind already on how I want to do this episode. So we're going to just finish out 2019, and then we'll take a break. We'll do our Wheel of Scum, come back, and we'll do looking ahead to 2020. So I'm just gonna go off and continue talking and go into Christmas. I don't know how your Christmas was. We haven't talked about it yet, but I enjoyed my Christmas. This is actually one of my favorite Christmases. I really enjoyed it. I got Christmas with my family, Christmas with my fiance's family, and then Christmas together with my fiance at night, all on Christmas Day. So it was like
nice.
3 Christmases all at once. It wasn't rushed. It was all very, very nice, and like we all took our time with everything. And there was a Christmas dinner in there as well. So I got like everything I could ask for all in one day. It was really, really good.
Cool. Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas. So for me, it's always a sprint.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah, how did that all turn out?
It actually worked out well. So the what did we do on the 24th? We had dinner with one of my wife's. What was it? Her dad's side. One side. It's a blur now, but dinner with one side, and then. No, that was mom's side. So dinner with mom's side, and then went to my friends their family thing, which was like a 45-minute drive or so at like 11 o'clock at night, but worth it. Always fun to be with them. And
Good.
Actually that was my first time, or the first time that my wife had gone to that side for that Christmas celebration, so that was nice. The 25th was probably, it's usually like the more packed day, and we had to fit more just because of like last minute planning. But on the 25th in the morning, we went to my wife's place to open gifts with her family, and then from there went to pick up my parents to go to my cousin's for brunch.
Oh gosh.
Spent a few hours there, came back home, wanted to nap. I didn't get a chance to, but she did. And then from there went to dinner on her family's other side, and then from there went to my other good friend's family thing. So yeah, like I didn't expect to do 4 things in that one day, but in the same way, like you said, for yours, like it wasn't like it was paced out really well. It wasn't too rushed,
right?
So we had the time to see everybody and do everything, and yeah, it was definitely a good day. I needed time to recuperate, but I didn't get the chance because then Boxing Day is always a tradition for me to go shopping. So I still woke up at 9 or I don't know, 8 or 9 in the morning when I had gone to sleep at like 4 or 5.
Jeez.
Something like that.
Brutal.
It is, but like it's for one day, and it's a good time, and it's the only chance I get to do stuff like this. So you know, it's worth losing sleep over and then just falling back or recuperating, catching back up on sleep later on.
Right.
Which I'm still doing slowly. But yeah, so that's my Christmas.
That's good.
Woo!
Did you get anything cool? What was some memorable stuff you got for Christmas? I actually have 2 of my major Christmas gifts actually right nearby me. I just realized that, so I can show them.
Nice. Well, we got the cool old fashioned book from you and your fiance.
Ah, yes.
So
the book
looking
on
forward
the
to
old
getting through
fashioned
that.
drink. It's because you guys like old fashions, so
yeah.
And you are old fashioned.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my wife is a little bit more old fashioned than I am, but yeah, it suits us. What else did I get? Oh, her family got me this. It's a Marvel, like a rectangle pillow. So it's like it's just like the Marvel logo, but then there's a bunch of like cute Spider-Man all around it. So I like that. Like it, I get it. It's on my blue couch now, or my blue, what do you call it? Accent chair. Totally fits. What I got? Her family's cousins gave me the Amazon Show 5. So it's like the smart display clock thing. I've got it on my nightstand now. So I've been wanting to get a clock on my nightstand for so long, because when I would look at my phone, it's just way too bright.
Right.
But now I've got this. I can just turn over and I can see the time. And
I've never even heard of that. Amazon Show 5.
So it's basically like the Amazon Echo, except it's got a display.
Unfortunately,
and it's also got video on it too. So it's got a camera on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like an alarm clock. That's funny. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe I got some stuff here and there. What did you get?
I got these cool coasters.
Ooh,
from you and your wifey.
It's a plus sign.
It is a plus sign. Actually, it's very Christian. This is the cross. It's the cross. But no, they're
the equal length cross.
Yeah, exactly. Or X marks the spot for the pirate motif. But no, they're PlayStation coasters. X squared, circle, triangle. Very cool. Very, very cool. I didn't know why I got them, though. I had an Amazon package at my door and opened it up and was like, this is weird. I didn't buy this. It took me a few minutes to discover that they were not something I purchased for myself when I was like unconscious or something. They were a gift from a friend. So that was cool. It's always exciting to get stuff from Amazon, especially when you didn't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad it showed up a little bit earlier than anticipated. Otherwise, it would have shown up by this Thursday. The original date, delivery date would have been January the 9th. So
wow,
for some reason it shipped like quite a bit early.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm using them now as we podcast. I'm using them at this very moment. So there you go. Now my desk will remain unbothered by water. I don't know what the word is.
Unstained?
Stained? Sure.
Unmarked?
Marked? Yeah.
Unmarked,
sure, that's better.
Yeah.
From my parentals, I got this, which, if I can untangle it for a second here, I got this.
Ooh.
Which is actually a dash cam for my car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's a really nice dash cam that I can throw up on my car. If you remember my story from earlier in 2019, I had the ring ready for the engagement, and I had it stored in my car, and then someone actually broke into my car, and they stole a couple quarters from my glove box, but they never even saw the ring somehow, so thank gosh for that. But my parents are thinking, if you throw a dash cam in there, at least you got some footage. You can record that at night, and it could be better for security. And then also on the drive, of course, if there's anything that happens out there too, I've got a dash cam for that. So that should be pretty cool. I have a 25-minute commute to work every day, so driving out there, and it's on the highway the whole time. So it's probably best to have some kind of dash cam out there.
Yeah.
So I was stoked with that. And then also for my parents, I like this one a lot. This one was my favorite actually from them, and it was. Well, actually, it might have been expensive. I'm not really too sure. But have you ever seen A Christmas Story?
Like a really old movie?
Yeah. Well, it's not super old, but yeah, it's like from the 70s.
Oh, I might have seen parts of it.
Well, in the movie, The Christmas Story, little boy always wants a Red Ryder BB gun. And then at the end of the movie, it's like Christmas morning, and his dad is like, he opens up all his gifts, and he doesn't get the Red Ryder BB gun. And his dad's like, oh, like, what's up behind the couch over there? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he opens it up, and it's a Red Ryder BB gun. And everyone is always telling him in the movie, like, you'll shoot your eye out. You can't get a BB gun, And he's just like, no, I want it. And then he ends up going outside, and he shoots it, and he shoots his eye out. It's just his glasses, but he goes, oh my god, I shot my eye out. Like, it's just really funny. And anyway, so my brother and I are there at Christmas morning with my parents, and we go through all the gifts and everything, and then my dad's just like, oh, what's that behind the piano over there? And my brother starts laughing. He's just like, oh, it's a Red Ryder BB gun. And we just kind of like start laughing. And then my dad's like, no, seriously, there's something over there. And then my brother goes over and he sees two big boxes. And they're like big long boxes. And then he's like, Matt, I think they actually got us a Red Ryder BB gun. So he gives one to me, and then him and I start opening it. My dad runs out and he goes and he grabs these two cowboy hats and he throws them on us. And we open it up and we got BB guns. So
wow. Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
So it's actually, as I'm showing on the camera now, it's actually a Red Ryder brand too. So it's got the Red Ryder writing on it and everything too.
Oh,
so
cool.
From the movie. So it's a limited edition one. But it's awesome. We were using it outside. There's nothing in it, so I can just fire it. But we were using it outside that morning. So Christmas morning, I spent about an hour and a half with my brother. We were drinking beer and shooting rat traps with the red butter BB guns. So we'd snap them and they would go flying in the air and stuff. And so that was.
Is that gonna be
awesome.
like a new Christmas tradition?
I think so, because actually that's something
be.
I forgot to mention in the year in review. But at the beginning of 2019, my brother and I went to a gun range for the first time ever. And
nice.
that was amazing. So it was really funny how at the very beginning of the year we went to a gun range and got to fire all these guns. First time for both of us, and we had a lot of fun with it. And we ended the year off with firing BB guns, so we actually got to do that again at the end of the year. So that was really cool.
Are those guns? That's not the same one that Kevin has in Home Alone, right?
It probably is. I was thinking that because in Home Alone he shoots what looks like a BB. It's it must be because it's an air rifle and just shoots a little BB. But the thing is, he hits like that one dude in the forehead, and like man, like these things are pretty powerful. Like it's 350 feet per second. And like the force behind them when we were shooting things, I was like, if that hit a person, like that's pretty brutal. Like I was hitting cans and like it's going through the tin cans, and then like I hit a bottle, it shatters the bottle. Like it's pretty intense. So if you hit a person with that, I think you'd be breaking skin. If not just like welting them pretty badly.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So
cool. Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, but it definitely piqued my interest into the gun game. So I'm definitely going back to looking at getting the license and the gun and all that. So if anybody's interested in gun mat stories, then you're probably going to hear more as time goes on. So
that's not a big thing on the island, is it?
I'd say so. Yeah, hunting's pretty big over here.
Is it? Oh, actually, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of areas to go
okay,
hunting on the island. Lots of wild areas over here. So I think people come from all over the world, come to BC in general just to hunt because we got all the forests. But Vancouver Island's got a lot for hunting. So
yeah, when you mentioned it was called Red Ryder.
Yeah, Red Ryder.
I was actually picturing this like big fluorescent red gun, and I was thinking like, man, like if your parents got you this and you go hunting with that, like you'd be seen from miles away. That's a terrible. That's a terrible design for a gun.
That doesn't
but
necessarily
it's not
matter too much for animals if like they can see highlighted colors, but it is actually pretty good for hunters if you have bright colors. There was a few states in the States where it was mandatory for hunters to wear big bright orange clothing. That's where that orange hunter look came from, because that was actually mandatory for hunters for a while there in the States. So I don't necessarily think you're gonna like get screwed over trying to hunt a deer if you're wearing bright orange. I don't think that just means they're gonna see you and then run away. So I think it's more a matter of like your scent and like how much you're disrupting the environment they're around, and stuff like that. So then again, I'm a super amateur hunter, so what do I really know?
Yeah, well, I think Nintendo did it right. Like you get that big that fluorescent orange gun for hunting ducks. So I mean, if you can do that, then I think it's fine.
And never shoot the dog.
No. I mean, you can, but he'll just get mad at you.
My fiance also got me some good gifts, and she'd probably be mad if I didn't mention them, so I'll make sure I mention them real quick. They're good. They're really good. She got me weights, which was awesome. So I now have 22.5 pound weights, or dumbbells, which is really good. And then she got me a chin-up bar, which is awesome too. So I now have a chin-up bar, which will actually be used on this door that you can't really see. But I have to take it off every time we podcast, which is hilarious. So every time we podcast, I have to take off the chin-up bar off of one side of the frame, and then I have to take off the Swiffer rack we've got for all of our brooms and Swiffers and stuff from the other side of the door. So every time we podcast, I have to like take all this stuff off the door and then put it back on afterwards.
Your podcast prep.
Yeah. So I actually have it. You can kind of see it in the corner right there. That's my chin-up bar right there. Just lying up over there.
Is she trying to tell you something? Are you? Does she want you to be like
It's probably because we've had like Nicky Nicky Nine Doors played on our house. We've had like the break into the car. There's rats around here. It's probably she is probably trying to say something.
So she wants you to get like physical with anybody who steps on your.
She actually got a machete for Christmas, and I'm serious. She got a machete, and the person they were like oh yeah, that'll be nice for you, if you ever need to cut something or like whatever you're gonna need it for and stuff. And then she was like, oh, this would be great beside the bed in case like somebody tries to break into the house.
Nice.
I just thought that was so funny. It's like that was her first thought. Like,
yeah, because where else would you keep a machete anyway?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah. I'll mention this one thing that we got through a gift exchange.
Nice.
So originally the gift exchange limit, or I guess like the range was I think it was $25 or $30, and it was supposed to be a recycled gift exchange. So what did we bring? I forgot what we brought. Well, we brought stuff that we weren't using anymore anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But ours, I know that when I looked, I remember I actually brought those those individual like push-up suction things that you put on the floor, and it's supposed to help you with like your grip.
Oh yeah.
So when you're doing the push-up, I guess you can maintain it.
Yep.
So I brought that, and I looked it up, and it's like roughly, I think it's like just under 30 or just like around $25. So it's like worth the value of what our limit is. I ended up getting, well, okay, so my wife and I, we played as one person. So we ended up getting this Pilsner beer serving set, which apparently goes for like over $100.
Wow.
But it's really cool. So I haven't actually opened it up yet, but yeah, this so this crate, actually maybe it'll show some, yeah, you might be able to see.
Yeah, I can
Show you here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm trying not to hit the mic.
You're okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So you got that crate.
Yeah.
You open it up and you've got those 2 beer serving. They almost look like champagne flutes, but they're really nice. It's got 2 cork coasters, the bottle opener, and is there something else that comes with it?
Well, it's in,
oh no, that's it.
Like
but
an
it's just
oak
like a
case kind of thing too, which is kind of cool.
It's I don't know how to pronounce it. Acacia.
Oh, acacia.
Acacia. It's an acacia case. And it's real cork beverage coasters.
Wow.
And anyways, yeah, it's pretty heavy duty. So we're excited to find a place to store this before we find time to use it.
That's the secret to marriage, is finding a place to store everything.
Yeah.
You can
'Cause
do that,
just
then you'll have a
accumulate so
happy
much
marriage
stuff.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah. It's all about storage.
Last thing too before I forget, I got some books from my fiance, which is great because nobody else got me books for Christmas. So I was by the end, we did our gift exchange last. So I was like, oh no, like did I go through the whole year and not get any books? Because I really like books. I was like, uh-oh.
Okay.
And then she got me 3. So I was stoked.
Wow. Nice.
One of them is the novel of Wicked, which is the musical that her and I really like. And
I read that. Nice.
I forgot you've got that. But I didn't know.
I don't have it, but I read it a while back.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a novel though. I honestly thought it was just a musical. I didn't realize there was a novel first and then the musical. So, so she got me the novel, which is really cool. So I'll definitely read through that. It looked like a pretty quick read, but I'm excited for it though because I like the story a lot and it goes more into it. She got me last year. She got me The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This year she got me The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas.
Ooh.
So very excited about that. And the last one she got me, here, I have it on the shelf. I'll just bring it.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You were talking about that.
I have always wanted to read that. It's the Iliad.
Yeah.
Homer's the Iliad, and it's in such a nice freaking cover. I love it. And I don't know, you probably can't tell, but the pages are that like awesome like offset pages. So it looks
Oh,
ancient.
yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. So I'm so excited to read this because I've always wanted to read the Iliad. And then we're gonna get the Odyssey, and we'll get the same version, so it does the spines across. So I can get the Iliad then the Odyssey.
Ooh,
So I am beyond
I'm
excited
for you.
I can't wait to start reading that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good. So I got some good books this year. So I really lucked out. I had the best Christmas ever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
2019 will go down in history as a great Christmas.
Cool. In this podcast too. This is archived.
Yes,
footage.
Exactly. We've archived how good this Christmas is.
We've
So if
immortalized.
If I say
your
next year
Christmas.
was like next year in 2020, if I say that was the best Christmas, I'll have to go back and review with this one.
Yeah. And then we'll have to have some sort of like podcast episode fight,
Ooh,
like a breakdown.
The battle of the Christmases. Did anything special happen for you for New Year's? Mine was pretty uneventful, so I'm not sure. But did you have a New Year's thing?
Mine was fairly low key, but so every New Year's is kind of different. We end up going like celebrating with somebody different in some other like random location. We're either in town or we were in Whistler one year. I think we were in New York one year. We were in LA one year. It's just all over the place.
So you've
this
done
year
a lot of crazy New Year's.
kind of. We just wanted to explore, just try new things. So this year we had a couple acquaintances from Hawaii come, and so they were looking for some New Year's plans, and we ended up we brought them to this Korean fried chicken place called Kokoru in Richmond, forgetting that we had taken them there last year or the year before when they had come. But anyway, so yeah, we went there, and so it's funny that it was New Year's Eve was a Tuesday, right? So New Year's Day was Wednesday, right? Or is it the other way around? Or maybe it was
New Year's
Wednesday.
Eve was a...
Anyway, it was a weekday either way, and so
you're right. No, you're
normally
right.
Okay, so normally the Kokoru is closed earlier on weekdays, and because even if it was a New Year's Eve, so it was still They weren't expecting a lot of people to come in. Only a couple of tables were booked, so it's fairly empty. It was kind of funny. And then the staff actually had reserved the restaurant for midnight and on. And so we had to ask, so we know the owner just from going there like pretty often, and we asked like, is it okay if we stay like a little bit past 12 at least to be there for like the countdown before we leave? And he said yeah sure, like stay until like 12:15, 12:20. And so then so midnight comes around, and then more of the staff have arrived, and they're searching for something to stream the countdown. And they find something on YouTube, and I believe it's Seattle, because I'm pretty sure it was like the Space Needle. And then
that would have been the same time zone, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So but when they actually turned it on 10 minutes beforehand, they had mentioned that there would not be any fireworks or any kind of thing because something happened. I don't know what. And so, but nobody noticed it. So then when midnight came around, like music just started playing. It was like the Star Wars music, and nobody was counting down, and everybody's like waiting, like what's going on? And then somebody checked their phones, and they're like, hey guys, everybody, it's past midnight. So like,
wow,
that's how we like broke in the new year. Which is it's fine. I mean, like,
it's fine.
Yeah. So then we were there for a little bit longer, and then went to karaoke afterwards. We're there for a couple hours, and yeah, so that was my night. This low key.
You definitely did like the city eventful thing though. That's really cool. I definitely was in my living room watching the New York ball drop thing, but like 4 hours later. Watched it with my fiance. We had like one drink, and like we both were feeling it because we like never drink. So when we had the one drink, we were both just like, whoa. Watching that. Very nice. Yeah, and then we went to bed probably at like 12:40. So
nice. Yeah, nice. That's okay. Every year can be different. Every couple can have their own thing. Just you do you.
We did dance. That was cool. We like never danced in the house at least, but that was nice. Did a little dance. Got to listen to Frank Sinatra because it was
cha-cha.
It was more swing. It was more swing. Actually, speaking of interesting thing coming up, and this is a good segue too, going into 2020. New things for 2020. Let's actually just focus on that anyways. Progressing now towards 2020, because this podcast is getting a little bit late, so unfortunately we'll have to skip the Scumm podcasting, or whatever it's called.
The Wheel of Scumm.
Scumm. Unfortunately, that'll have to be next episode because we're just talking about life now. This has been a very ranty podcast about life, but I like it because we never have these. So once in a year.
Although our audience might say like, no, you guys do that all the time.
They probably
literally just rant all
if you
the
disagree
time.
with what we're saying, please let us know.
Please rant to us.
So in 2020, few things I'd like to change. One thing is I want to get more into fishing. And to start that off, I just recently bought a fishing rod. So this is
cool.
Awesome fishing rod that I can't really show on camera without ruining anything, but it's blue, so you can see that. Is a blue.
Cool.
And it's 5'6".
Like the water.
Yes, it is. It's 5'6", which is roughly the height of my fiance, so I named it after her.
Aww.
And it's her favorite color too, so it's adorable. Anyway, so I would like to get more into that. I used to do it before moving out to Vancouver. I was more into fishing back then with my buddies, and we'd go out and go fishing, and I haven't done it at all since I was in Vancouver. So coming back here now, it's like, I really want to get into it, but I just never did. In all of 2019, I just never got around to going. I even bought my license, but I never got around to going and doing it. So
it's cheap to get a license, right?
What's up?
It's cheap to get a license.
Yeah, it was like $40. It wasn't that bad, but that's freshwater
for like a year.
Yeah, it's for a year. That's freshwater though. You do have to buy freshwater and saltwater. So
okay.
But anyway, so this year, 2019, that's one of the things I want to make sure I get going on is fishing
2020.
more. 2020, I want to make sure I get going on fishing more.
This coming 2019. 2019.2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing, my fiance and I are about to start dancing. So tomorrow, we're going to take swing dance lessons. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
awesome. Is it like a weekly
every Wednesday
thing?
We're taking swing dance. So yeah.
Nice. What spurred that?
Something she saw at I think at the rec center, and it was just a cheap price, and there was like some swing dancing, and there's another one too, is ballroom dancing, I believe. Oh, you know what? We might actually be doing ballroom dancing and then swing later. I can't remember which one it is, but we're doing one or the other tomorrow, and for the first lesson, and then we're gonna keep doing that every Wednesday. So that's just gonna be a fun little thing, and hopefully,
that's awesome.
Hopefully for the wedding that'll pay off, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah,
exciting.
I already really enjoyed dancing back in the day when I did more musical theater. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And then things like square dancing or like dancing in gym and stuff when you did like little dance sessions and stuff. I always really liked those sessions.
Yeah.
But didn't get to do more of it, so it'll be fun to do. And you with a dance background, obviously, I'm sure you enjoyed all that. So
Yeah, definitely did. I'm looking forward to seeing how the swing dance. Well, actually, both. So swing and ballroom dance classes go for you two.
it's gonna be interesting.
Just picturing you two dancing. It's so cute.
It's gonna be interesting. We'll have to take our time and get through it, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Take your time
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
So those are some of the things I'd like to do. On top of that is reading more. I'd like to read for 2020. For 2019, I got a lot of reading done. That was my New Year's resolution, was to read 12 books. And I read 12. They were
Nice.
awesome. I ended up reading like 18 or something by the end, but I'm just glad that I got through those 12. And now for this year, I'm keeping up that avid reading. But those are things I'd like to do. What are some things for 2020 you're looking forward to doing? It doesn't have to be resolutions, just things you want to look ahead to do or events you're excited for.
I guess it's more the same of what I was doing. So because of my wife's holidays, like being a teacher, she has like the 2 weeks off for Christmas holidays.
Right.
And I tried to cater my schedule to match that. So I was pretty much slacking in all the work that I should have been doing and kind of catching up now. But I also started slacking in my usual, like my daily routine. So just want to get back into that, which includes trying to exercise. I was doing like the Khan Academy courses.
What's Khan Academy?
Khan Academy, they have it's the guy from MIT who put together like this website where they have all these tutorials and videos on lessons for like high school topics, and then they eventually started branching out into more I guess like even post-secondary stuff. So they kind of have like, it's free to just watch all their videos, and they have some of their courses have like little quizzes and like you get badges for watching a certain amount of videos in like a given topic.
I'm writing this down. This sounds
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's great. So Khan Academy.
Wait.
Yeah, they have so much content
As in, like,
now.
As in like
Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's based. His last name is Khan, like the guy
okay.
who, one of the guys from MIT. So yeah, the first time I started watching those videos was back when I was updating some of my high school credits.
Oh yeah.
Because they expired and it was going back to post-secondary for another program. But so I did some back then. Now I kind of just I like to continue learning.
Me too.
So what I have been doing towards I guess like towards the end of 2019 was each day I would watch a video on a different topic. So Monday was Moon Day for me. I dubbed it Moon Day, so I'd watch like astronomy videos or things to do with like the cosmos and space. Tuesdays was EW Tuesdays, and EW stood for Ecology and Wildlife.
Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing, and I really want to do this. I love this.
Wednesdays, I called it Whatever Wednesdays sometimes, but I'll just I'm gonna pull up my weekly schedule that I've got on my Google Drive. Wednesday is Hump Day, so I would do like human kinetics or like anatomy stuff. Thursday, Throwback Thursday, so I would do like history.
Oh,
and then
yeah. That's what I want to go through is all of history. Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Yeah. So I was actually going through like pre-World War I stuff, like stuff I'd never heard of before. And
Revolutionary War.
It's well, there's like
Civil War.
I'm learning about like stuff like in Serbia and like Austro-Hungary and like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you mean around the world, not just the States? Oh,
everywhere, yeah, around the whole world. I'm avoiding the States. we'll see.
No, dude, the States is where the good history is. There's some good.
Well, I'll get there eventually, but I wanted some sort of precursor.
Okay.
And then Friday is Finance Fridays, so I do some.
Oh, no way.
Some econ and like interest and stuff like that. So yeah, every day I try to.
I'm like
watch,
so jealous
watch
of your
videos.
past life and the life you want to live for 2020. It sounds really good.
Yeah, it's just kind of like my pursuit of knowledge. I don't know what you'd call it, but I like
a thirst for
I just like
intelligence.
Learning. Yeah,
no, that's.
But
really cool.
It's more so that I like to be. There's just so many facets of life that I appreciate and want to take advantage of.
Right.
Knowing how many resources we have and knowing how much is accessible to us, like I want to be able to take advantage to use it all. So trying to get back into like gaming a bit more too. Finding new recipes that I can make with my wife. Those are these are more of like the just kind of like the daily homey kind of things that I want to be able to do for 2020. But in terms of career goals, I think I mentioned this before, but I wanted to get into acting. One of my best friends who's been living in the Philippines, he was back for a while, and he was like, I was telling him that I wanted to kind of sort some things out so that I'd be a little bit more ready to make some sort of like schedule change. But he was saying, well, like if you're gonna do something that's already gonna make your schedule change a little bit, you might as well just get into it and let that be the prompting for changing your schedule, or like kind of adjusting around it. Like rather than adjusting to start something, you might as well adjust while you're doing it.
Right.
If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He didn't say it in those terms exactly, but that's kind of what I took from it. So, so I wanted to look up some acting classes that I can start doing maybe like once a week, and then hopefully that can kind of jumpstart me into doing some more sooner than later. Yeah.
That's really like those are some really good aspirations for 2020. I like that. That's very cool.
Thanks.
I found it really motivating hearing that. That was like listening to a speech.
Great.
I like that a lot.
Awesome.
So very noble, very cool. I agree with you, like everything you said. I like it.
Cool. Thank you.
I
also want to learn. That's okay. You don't need to. No, that's fine. You do you.
No, it's okay. I like.
You've got
I'm gonna be
you've got
me.
a great
It's fine.
life.
It's fine.
Yeah, you've got a big flashy red gun now, so you're
Let's get all them skeeters. Get them all off my porch.
One thing I do want to, like fairly small thing that I want for 2020. I want to learn the Ross and Monica New Year's dance. I think that would be pretty fun. The routine. Yeah.
Have you been practicing?
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. So I think that'd be pretty fun to do. I don't think my wife would be on board, but I can secretly teach her without her knowing somehow. We'll find out. Yeah.
I like what you said about video games too, because that actually is something that's happened recently for me. As you know, for like 2018, for probably all of 2018, I didn't play any games. I was totally off games for a while there, and I was taking a massive break from it. What I thought was probably forever. But what I was doing in the background was developing games. So I was still developing all the time, constantly working on just whatever. And not that long ago, I was talking about that fantasy RPG game I was in the middle of developing. Well, recently, a friend of mine has kind of started helping me with some of the things, and he created his own battle system for an RPG game, which is very unique, and I've never seen it before. So we're gonna roll with that. So I've been developing a bit of this new battle system that he's come up with, and been sharing screenshots back and forth with him, getting him to play some builds of it and stuff like that. So it's actually the beginning steps to creating a game, which has been really fun. I've never done this part of the process with another person and got this far with it, so that's been really fun. In doing so, what that's done is made me interested finally in the mechanics of games enough for me to start playing them again. So I finally, the last game I played was in 2018, and it was in November. It was like November something, and I played Red Dead Redemption, and that was such a good game that I got so into it that I turned it off. So I think I got 20% through that game. That's what the save file had said, at least. So I restarted the whole game, and I started it again about last week, and I've been keeping up. I've been putting about 20 to 30 minutes a night into it since then. When my fiance falls asleep, I just play another 20 or 30 minutes. It's a really slow game, so you can take it very slowly. So because of that, I've been doing that, and it's helping me a lot with just keeping my brain working for the mechanics of games and like how to visualize things, but also how to do the logic on the back end to just keep it working. So that's been really good. So that's interesting you mentioned that you've been trying to play more games again, because it's actually something I guess subconsciously I've also been sneaking back into my year as it comes in. So that's been kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah. And I'll see if I can match you. Are you going to do 12 books this year as well?
I wouldn't be surprised if I do more. I'm about to finish one already, actually. So I don't know if that counts. I did like half of it in December. So I'm not sure if that counts, but I'm about to finish one now. So the answer is yes, because I will definitely finish 12 books by the end of the year, but I don't know how much more. I should probably up the ante to like 20 or 24 maybe to double it.
Yeah, dude.
But I've got a lot of big ones too. Like when I look at the Iliad here, I'm like, I don't know, is that gonna?
Because that's a thick book. But that'll count for 2 books.
But at the same time, some of the big ones go by really quick, and some of the small ones take forever. I read one called Gates of Fire that's based on the 300 Spartans, and it was only 400 pages, I think, while the book I'm reading right now is 800 pages. The book I'm reading right now, I finished in like or I'm about to finish tonight probably. I don't know, 8 weeks. And Gates of Fire took me a month and a half, 2 months probably, and I was like, they shouldn't be comparable at all, but they sometimes are. So it's really weird.
But that could also be just based on like how motivated you are to keep reading.
It could be.
Like,
I have a solid
sessions, right?
times when I'm reading though, so it's usually I'm reading within those same hours. I think it's probably the language. The Spartan one was written in more of like an older style English, so I think it just found it slower to read. So I didn't necessarily read it less. It's just I couldn't read it at the same pace as I read mine that I read now. So
I think that's the same reason why it's difficult for me to get through the Lord of the Rings as quickly as I normally would. Because like Harry Potter books, like I read those like a breeze, but the Lord of the Rings books, like I'm trying to understand like every single thing. I also try to, when I'm reading all of like the songs and the poems, I'm trying to read it to actually make it rhyme like to flow in
it
my
doesn't
head.
always
Otherwise,
rhyme,
like
just remember that. It
no,
doesn't
yeah,
always
exactly.
rhyme. Like Tom Bombadil's got some great songs, but they don't always rhyme. Sometimes they just kind of go. But that's one thing too. So I haven't been counting audiobooks as books that I've read, and I've gone through a lot of audiobooks. And but I'm actually going through Lord of the Rings right now again. I normally do it once a year, but I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's only been 6 months, and I'm already doing it again. So I'm going through Lord of the Rings again right now, and I just finished the Tom Bombadil segment. I'm actually at the Barrow Whites in the Fellowship. But which book are you reading? I can't remember.
I'm on Return of the King.
Oh, Return of the King. Okay, great. Where are you at?
I'm. Let's see. Pippin is
Gandalf and
consoling. Gandalf's there. So Pippin is consoling Denethor because Faramir just got darted, so he's been poisoned. So just there.
Nice.
Spoiler.
God, I love Merry and Pippin in the books. I could talk about Lord of the Rings book for like so long, but I love them in the books. They're so much smarter than they are in the movies, and they're just
actually
they're really good.
There's a huge
friends
difference
of Frodo's.
Yeah,
like, they're really good friends. There's a great moment in Fellowship where Merry and Pippin are just like, they're like, Frodo, like, stop lying to us. We know you're going on some crazy quest right now. We know you're doing all this, and we know you're probably going to leave us tonight. And then Frodo's all like, how do you know? Like, how would you know all that? And they're like, well, let's. They're like, we just know, like, we've been talking about this. You're so obvious about it and stuff like that. And they're like, and then Frodo's like, does everyone know? And they're like, no, we just know you so well that we know. And then eventually they're like, it must be the ring, right? Is it the ring? And then Frodo's just like, how do you know it's the ring? And then they're like, then Sam walks in. They're like, it was Sam. And Sam's like, sorry, like I just kind of figured it out, you know. And it's like, it's just so funny how much like they just all know him so well, and they become such good friends. But I guess they are good friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love it because I'm in Fellowship. So like when they're on the adventure past Tom Bombadil and stuff like that, you just get this really good sense of adventure in those books. I love it. Solid like camaraderie and solid like cooperation and stuff. I don't know. It's really good.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot more detail in this book in terms of just like describing the scenarios and describing like the meaning behind everything that's happening. Yeah. Like way more than I'm used to. So I feel like that's also why it's a little bit difficult for me to go through it as fast as normal, because like I'm really trying to conceptualize like all the details. It's like it's so visual.
Well, that's
right?
how he gets it. He always gets it because it's like in a regular book, a guy just picks up a pencil, right? But in this book, you know, a guy goes to pick up the pencil and he tells you the whole history of that pencil. Like, you would have thought it was a pencil, but apparently this pencil's been around for 300 years, and actually like 4 different people have owned this pencil, and this one person who owns it now barely knows any of this history, just so you know. And you're like, wait, what? Like, and you're like, okay. Or they just walk into a location and you're like, oh, like 3 wars have been fought in this battlefield, and these wars were the old days, back when there was only this and this, and you're like, wait, what? It just makes it so much more interesting because you feel like there's more to the story than what you're reading. It's a trick, but it's very well done.
It's a trap. Yeah.
It's a trap. Okay, well that's enough. I'm just gonna end up ranting about Lord of the Rings. So 2019 was great. 2020 is looking great. All is great.
Looking clear.
Anth0z, do you have anything else you'd like to say about 2019 and or 2020 or Khan Academy?
Let's see. 2019. I feel like it was a good year for
a very good year.
For movies and film. We closed out Marvel Phase 3 with Endgame. Amazon Prime came out and started fighting back. Well, actually, Amazon Prime existed for a while, but it started fighting back with some pretty good content, and then Disney Plus came out.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of choices out there, a lot of good content.
And Disney Plus shocked me. I was very negative about Disney Plus from the start of this whole podcast too. And
Yeah.
and I am now. I am a user of Disney Plus. I like it. So I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But they did it. It's good.
Yeah. More to look forward to in terms of content, but also other streaming services coming with HBO. What else? I enjoyed talking about Vladimir Putin in our podcast.
And two Palpatines.
And yep.
Yep.
My two Palpatines.
My dinner with Palpatine.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Looking forward to all the things, the same and more of what's to come in 2020.
Yes, the same and more. I like that. That should be our subtitle. Welcome to
The
Scumm
same and
Podcast,
more.
where we talk about the same and more. Anth0z, where can the audience find Hugh?
You can still find me on Twitter because I have been tweeting
Ooh.
at Anth0z1. That's at Anth0z1.
And if you want to find me, you can also find me at Twitter at Mattbrush Gaming. Or if you want to watch this podcast in video form, you can go to Mattbrush Gaming at YouTube. If you'd like to just listen to this podcast like a regular human being, you can go to any of your podcasting platforms and you'll find it in there at the Scumbar Podcast. And yeah, I honestly don't want to list off all the podcast platforms because there's so many of them. So like iTunes, Spotify.
Because it's on all of them.
Yeah, we're on every single one. Just search us up. You'll find us. Google us. Google it or DuckDuckGo it. You'll find us.
Or Mozilla Firefox it.
Or Firefox.
Or
Firefox. Yeah.
Windows Edge it. No, these are all.
Those are browsers, not
No, wait.
search engines.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves
Right.
it.
Chrome. Yeah.
Then if you want to email us and let us know some thoughts or whatever about the podcast, you can at thescumbarpodcast@gmail.com. Or you could also leave us a comment on any of these podcast platforms or on YouTube and let us know what you think about the podcast. You can leave us a like or a heart or a subscribe or whatever you're thinking. Just we appreciate it all. We love feedback, so let us know what you think.
Or send us some mail.
Some
Figure out
snail
who we
mail.
are.
Yeah.
Find our addresses and send us some mail.
I do have a gun, so
Be different. Yeah.
Don't do anything creepy. I've got a gun. I've also got a fishing rod.
I
that goes with
have a Marvel
it.
pillow.
And my fiance has a machete, so
Yep. What do we have? Do we have any weapons? No, my hockey sticks are at my parents' place.
Uh-oh.
What do I have here? I have a
frying pan.
it's too heavy. It's hard for me to wield, you know. What do I have? I have no, the Dyson's too heavy.
Your guitar.
We have a lot of cleaner sprays.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, getting that in your eyes, you don't want that.
Yeah,
Nope,
that's some
don't come-
deadly stuff.
Don't come to me. Yeah.
All right, Anth0z, do you want to leave us with a farewell mantra from 2019?
Saying goodbye is only the beginning of saying hello. Because when you say goodbye, all you're really saying is ta-ta for now. Until the next time when we see each other, we will be different, but we will be more of the same. And that's okay. That's okay.
You say goodbye, and
I
I
say
say hello.